I'm Carson Cook, and in this chess lesson, we're going to learn about notation. A type of notation I'm going to teach you is algebraic notation, and it's pretty much the universal notation today. It is very crucial as it allows you to go over your games after you finish them and learn from your mistakes. Also, in many tournaments nowadays, it is required, so you need to know it. This is the chessboard. It's made up of letters and numbers. Each letter is on a file or a vertical column, and each number is on a rank or is a horizontal row. Each square on the chessboard corresponds to a square on the grid, and it has its own square in algebraic notation. For example, this white rook is on the square h1 because it is on the h file in the first rank. This white pawn is on the h file in the second rank, so it is on h2. This is h3, h4, h5, and so on. White will always have A on the left side and H on the right side. Black will have H on their left side, A on their right side. Now I'm going to show you a chess game that will show you all the moves that can happen in notation so you can be prepared for any situation when notating a game. Now, the game will start off with the move pawn here. This move is called e4. When you use notation, you notate where a piece is moving to, and you do not say where it's coming from. So as you can see, this pawn moved to e4. Now, the reason I'm just saying e4 and nothing else is because with a pawn, you do not need to indicate anything. By not indicating anything, you know that it's a pawn. So the pawn move here is just e4. Black responds with the move e6. This is a very good opening called the French defense for black. White responds with d4. Black plays d5. Now the first piece move we have is knight to c3. Now, how we notate this is we write nc3. We do not write k because the k belongs to the king. The king trumps the knight. So for the knight, you must use n. Black responds nf6. White plays e5. And here black blacks up his knight to this square, d7. You cannot write d7 because you cannot just write nd7 because two knights can move to that square. So what you must indicate when this happens is you have to indicate the file that the piece comes from. So for example, this knight came from the f6 square on the f file. So when moving to this square, you would write nfd7. If, for example, I played this move, it would be nb to d7 because it's coming from the b file. In the game, black played nfd7. White replied bishop d3. Black played bishop b4. For the bishop, you just use an uppercase B. Simple enough. White now plays nf3. And black castled kingside. White will also castle kingside. Castling kingside in notation is two capital O's with a dash in between. So O-O. Here, black played the move c5. And this is where white comes in for the kill. White plays bishop takes h7 check. What this would be in notation is b. Then when you have a capture, you indicate in this notation with an x. So this would be bx h7, because that's where it's going to. And then with a check, you use a plus sign. So it'd be bx h7 check. King takes back, so this is kx h7. Now white plays ng5 check, remember, which is a plus. Black plays his king to h8. White now plays qh5 check. Queen is q, simple enough. The king moves over to g8, kg8, and here white comes in for checkmate. qh7 checkmate. The checkmate symbol is either a hashtag, pound sign, number symbol, whatever you call it. That's what it is. And this concludes the game. The only two things that were not shown in this game that could happen in notation were castling queenside and a pawn promotion. So I will now show you those. So we have the situation set for castle and queen side. White side's the castle queen side. In notation, this is a capital O-O-O. It's similar to castle and king side, but there's an extra O. The other thing is pawn promotion. Say I have my H pawn right here on H7 and it's promoting. What I'd write is I would write H8, because that's the square it's moving to. But since it's promoting, I need to add something else. I would add an equal sign, and then the letter that corresponds to whatever piece I'm promoting to. Since you're normally promoting to a queen, normally we would write H8 equals Q here. But if I did not want to promote to a queen for some reason, I could write H8 equals R for rook, or H8 equals B for bishop, or H8 equals N for knight. In this lesson, we learned how to use chess notation in all our games. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.